Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we're going to talk briefly about Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett describing how Draymond should embrace his physical play but make it a little less obvious when he's out there on the floor. You know, whenever you're throwing your bows and your 6'7" elbows reach up and hit a 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot Yusuf Nurkic, then we know it's intentional. And Paul Pierce was kind of elaborating on how Kevin Garnett used to bow people, but KG is 6'11", 7 foot, right in that range. So I know one thing KG used to do when he played, when he would get rebounds and secure them, you're taught to clear your space, or you can turn with your elbows extended when you're, securing the ball. And a lot of times players would use that to send a message, but it would be a natural basketball play. And I think that's what KG is trying to say to Draymond Green. You have to make more natural basketball plays. Don't rid yourself of your physicality, but it has to be within the flow of the game. So we would see players like KG turn around with their elbows extended, and you'll just have them wide, and you'll do a quick pivot, you know what I'm saying, to turn and pass the ball, and you would catch the person who you felt like was trying to give you cheap shots, and it will be in the flow of the game. So I think that's what he's trying to say. But let's check out what they had to say word for word. Let's pick.
I think with Draymond, he got to know how to do it within the structure of the game to where it don't look intentional.
Man, listen.
Because I used to see tickets bowl motherfuckers in the face or
I'm
on
getting
the
bold.
head.
I'm getting bold.
Like,
I'm
getting
bold.
But when you used to
I'm
do
getting
it,
bold.
You used to do it in a way like you looking like you boxing out, but you turn your arms just high with elbow, hit somebody in the forehead. Like it looked natural, like a natural
got some
movement.
slick shit in his
See,
bag.
that's what Draymond.
See how these narratives come out on
No,
you, bro?
I know.
I'm getting
I've
bold. I'm in the post.
I
If
get
anybody's
it.
playing the
But I'm
post,
saying
the
for
post,
Draymond,
it's
he
the
gotta do
jungle.
it. He gotta
It's
make
balls
it
being
look-
flying and it's blows. So you know what you got to do when balls are being thrown? You got to get in here and throw yours. You got to protect
But
yourself.
he knew how to do yours. That's what I'm saying for Draymond.
I've
He
never
got to know. He
bowled
got to know how to
anybody
do his bullshit in the context
I'm in the
of
jungle.
making it look natural.
When
like
in
you
the
did.
jungle, you adjust
Like,
to the jungle.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, being here acting like a guy, like I was actually trying to.
No,
I'm
the
here
way
trying
you
to.
did it, the way you
I'm out
did
here
it,
trying to
you was
box
a
out
little
Mutombo. I look up and oh shit, I had. You know what I'm saying?
But you was more slick with it to where it didn't look. It was look more
I have
natural.
no idea what Paul Pierce was talking about.
So
I
like,
was
say
slick
like
with
the shot
nothing.
go up, ticket to just be on some.
Look,
He'll
this is all
turn with the high
peacocking.
elbow
See?
though, like, but hands is up,
look.
but he know the elbow is connecting to somebody's face or
So
something.
you familiar with what Draymond
he
Green
think
He
doing?
is
on
bullshit.
some- nah,
I saw P with the whole elbow like this on cold nose, like this.
Nah,
look,
nah,
you
it was
would
just-
never. Like,
But
no.
I'm just
P.
saying- I'm just saying
I'm
for
glad Joe
Draymond.
Mike was off. We ain't getting none of that, right? He said, man, he stumped out. Like,
So you
like,
ain't
stop,
seen
man.
nothing wrong. You ain't seen nothing wrong with that move?
No. All I'm saying is, I'm saying what we're all saying. And my point is, it's a ball of fire. Help him curate the ball of fire. Obviously, he's getting all these other things. If you haven't stepped in and tried to help, then I'm thinking that, right, you're letting them actually fall on his face.
So Draymond Green has started counseling or whatever it is they got him doing, and I don't know if that's the answer, because it ain't like, maybe he's a little off, with how he competes, but I don't know if that helps solve heat of the moment, in the battle type things where you're playing a basketball game in an emotional game. And I feel like the officials have a little bit to do with this. I don't like how they suppress so much emotion during the game. If I finish an and one over somebody, I should be able to look at them and yell, or like not slap them or nothing like that, but, really pump my fist in his face if I dunk on him or something like that. I should be able to feel that. They suppress these players' emotions and want them robotic. So then when they lash out or they have some sort of outburst, it's like, oh, look at him. Something's wrong with him. Let's get him counseling. Let's get him help. But this is the very fire that have them, become the players you are. And let's take it off the court for a second. Anybody who's ever played basketball, when you're in the weight room or you're doing physical conditioning and you're tired, where do you get to push past the fatigue? Where do you get your reserves from, right? Your reserves to continue to persevere. That comes from the fire that you have. So you might be yelling, you lift something you never lift, or you need just 5 more reps. A basketball player lifts kind of light, but just, a lot of repetitions. So if you're lifting, and it starts to really burn on 15 and you're trying to get 25, the last 10 of those you might be yelling. So my thing is, I don't like how the officials suppress emotion. I'm just saying, the entire process and the way that you prepare for the game is built on emotion. Now, Draymond can't go around striking individuals, but his physicality is, the Warriors need it. And I feel like he may have a little man complex sometimes when he's playing bigger players because, let's face it, Kevon Looney, those guys aren't enforcers. And I think they found something with Trace Jackson Davis, and Draymond may not have to do as much of that. I don't know why Kerr had him on the bench anyway. People look at these players coming out of college, and just because they can't shoot the 3 doesn't mean they shouldn't be on the court. Trace Jackson Davis was ready to play the first day, right out of Indiana. He was ready to go in there and play. And he's got NBA pedigree. That's Dale Davis's son. But he has more of an offensive game. So why wasn't he playing right away? That may have prevented, he probably would have been guarding Nurkic. Nurkic and some of those guys. But I think Draymond has to keep it where it doesn't cross into personal lines for that split second. He tries to reel himself back in. You could see it, but he's responsible for too much of the toughness of the team. Somebody else has to be tough. And I feel like they had that in earlier years on the wings and different places like that. You had Draymond having his incidents and his outbursts, but it wasn't flat out swings to people's faces, and chokeholds. We're starting to see over the top stuff now. And, we praise that 80s, 70s, 80s, early 90s ball, right? But the league, coming out the 70s and the 80s, they had a drug problem, and and fighting going along with that wasn't a good look for the league. We praised some of that, but it had to get cleaned up some. Now, we like the 90s, issues because it wasn't as much of a drug issue, and the fights weren't going as far. You didn't have the Kermit Washington punch or nothing like that, on Rudy Tomjanovich in the 90s. But you would just have some little mix-ups. And I think that's good in the heat of competition because anybody that came up playing in that era, there was a level of physicality at the park, at the local park coming up. You was going to get in a fight, at some point playing basketball. And I think Draymond comes from that, man. He just has to learn to reel it in. Guys don't want to get fined. Guys don't want to lose money like this. And Draymond, I think, it's going to be telling if anyone can say anything to him. When they see him start to fly off the hinge, will Kerr pull him out the game when he sees it? Because as a coach, now it's your responsibility to see the game or have one of your assistants or somebody watching the game to see little things that happen on the court. You play, Kerr, when it's getting to that point. When players are becoming irritated with each other before the big blow up happens. Pull them out the game. Pull them out the game. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all going to do? Now, the responsibility lies on Draymond, but it's part of the coach's job to see that too, where the frustration is setting in and the basketball is slowly leaving and you're seeing players start to confront each other on each possession, and they're trying to one-up each other with their physicality. Eventually, somebody's going to swing. So I'm looking to see that too, and I'm also looking to see how Draymond is a little less obvious with his physicality. You got to be a little more smooth than that, man. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.